Do this.
Fucking yet again, well, this is the second fucking little bit we've started. This stupid fucking camera. Oh, okay, sorry. We got a guest here. Let's do a joke about having a guest here.
He's wearing bows.
He's wearing
and
bows.
blah, 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 blah,
blah. His name's Steve Hudson. I said something about being from Bude. But no,
you made the balls up of it, basically.
Not really, because I was going to moan about the fact that who was it we had on a couple of weeks ago? And I said, "Oh, where are you from?"
Prince Harry.
Where are you from? And he went, "Oh, I'm from fucking Gloucester."
Where to?
No, I don't mean that. You're of then Bude fucking Wellness Warriors. But people they come on here and they try and be funny.
We're supposed to do that, aren't we? Yeah. Anyway, this is the founder of Bude Wellness Warriors, so we thought as we're...
Talk to us. What's Bude? Introduce yourself, Steve.
My name's Steve Hudson, originally from Bude. Born and bred Bude boy.
So you local?
Lived there for about... Lived in Bude for about 20 years before I went on a little escapade up north to look after rivers and otters and fish and stuff.
Nice.
And then I ended up back down here again.
Nice. I like that.
Rivers and otters.
Rivers and otters. Why rivers and otters?
Specifically.
Yeah, specifically.
Just those two.
And what about fish?
Yeah, well, I looked after those as well. When I was living in Bude, I was a very keen fisherman. Used to fish on the Bude Canal for many years. Was the junior
swans?
Champion 2 years. No, I caught.
Just don't pay any attention to him, Steve. He's a fucking knobhead. You were junior champion twice.
I was going to say, fucking hell.
Yeah, back to back, junior champion.
Fucking hell. Do you know, I've just taken fishing back up with my dad. I did. I'll carry on talking and then you'll find out. That's a big old Eid, that is, isn't it? So I used to do it a lot when I was a teenager, fishing, that is.
Yeah.
And then my rod broke, and I've been a couple of times. Up until 2 weeks ago, I've been a couple of times, about 15 years. I've been last 2 Saturday mornings, 3 hours.
It's the most fucking boring thing you can ever do.
Do you know what? It's so relaxing, isn't it, Steve?
Do you use this bait?
It is
luncheon meat.
Are you float fishing or carp fishing?
Well, float for carp. Well, we did luncheon meat.
Oh, nice.
We've done maggots, luncheon meat. My dad bought. He just went in the shop and bought one, just threw it in the water. He caught a 2-3 pounder carp.
Steve is not impressed.
Yeah, he's like,
gives a bend in the
fucking
rod, doesn't it?
2-3 pound. I'd fucking rush you from take that out of the pond with my hands.
Where's he from? He's from fucking Bude.
He's from London.
Like
He does when he's offline. He does.
It depends how big your rod is. Like, how big was your rod?
I got a big bastard rod there, Steve.
So do you go down the canal? You know where they got? Because I've never done this. You go down like where the numbers are. Is that where you're meant to go? On the canal, there's all numbers along the side of the river.
Yeah, back in the day.
Well, they're still there, dude.
Yeah, for all the match competitions and that. Yeah, they still do matches down there. They do the evening pairs and they do Sunday morning competitions. Yeah, draw your number out of a hat and then off you go. You get your peg number and off you go.
Steve loves a bit of peg.
No, I don't do much fishing anymore.
Well, I was going to say we should go if you still do it. Or not.
Yeah, I've still got a bit of tackle now in the garage. I'm always keen for a bit of fishing. Right?
I tell you could give me a few tips on it because I enjoy it. It's just nice. Just sit there and you can just zone into like, this is all I need to do. And and if I don't get like loads of bites or I don't really mind, it's just nice. Just go down and I just switch off and I tell you what it is and hang out with the old man for a few hours.
Yeah.
I usually get caught in the fucking reeds and he's there laughing or he falls off his seat.
So you actually in the river? Do you actually get in the river?
No, I haven't got waders on.
So how do you get caught in the reeds?
No, with the rod.
Oh, okay.
I'm going for a piss at a time and as I'm dragging it back out, I get hanged up.
Okay, all right.
Is that because of is that the big fish you're catching or the bad casting?
That's having me rod's too big and I'm dangling in the reeds while I'm going for a wee.
Easy done, mate.
So, one thing I'm a little bit confused about. So you were born and bred in Bude, yeah? Just to check, were you born in Derriford, or were you born in Barnstaple?
Oh, he's a sneaky little bugger, he is.
Yeah, I was a Barnstable boy.
So you're from Devon.
Oh,
That's where you're from. Not Cornish at all. You're blowing.
Well, I was in Devon for like the first few hours of my existence.
Sounds like an excuse. Yeah.
I was straight down to Mamchurch after a few hours.
yeah,
It's a lovely place, Mamchurch.
beautiful. So, okay, so Steve,
Yeah, Pinchill I was.
So you set up Bude Wellness Warriors. Give us a little bit of a little bit more info. Why you? So you moved up to do
I was
some.
going to ask that, but you just went off on a fucking.
Oh, sorry,
tangent.
dude. You were talking.
That's where I was going.
So I was trying to be kind.
All right. So tell us about why did you go up country then? Why it feels almost like what's that film like Lord of the Rings? So you basically.
Well, Steve Gollum.
Yes, Steve Gollum. So you left Bude and you went up country. And I appreciate you went on the search for otters. You said, didn't you? Went on searching for otters, like on some kind of big otter hunt.
He was hallucinating at the time.
But yeah, what was all that about?
Well, I've always been a big fan of being outside in the countryside. I did a lot of fishing when I was younger, and as I was sort of grown up as a teenager, I was trying to figure out what it was I wanted to do. I didn't really know what I wanted to do until I was working up at Tripos,
Nice.
the pharmaceutical drug research company up on Kingston Industrial Estate.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was just trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and I thought I really love working outside in the countryside, and I'd like to pursue a career which gives something back, really. So I got into sort of environmental management, and yeah, I did a foundation degree down at Duchy College, and then I got a top-up degree in environmental resource management, and managed to land myself a job in Durham, of all places.
Fucking hell. That's amazing, especially for like a local lad, because I think sometimes when you're in Bude, if you want to stay in Bude, there's not a lot going on, is there? It's, unless you want to work in the Mermaid or Tasty Place or something like that. Like, there's not a massive amount. Huh? Tiandi, yeah. Or Thai Andy, as it's called now.
Thai and I.
I think that's a chef, isn't it? I can't remember.
Thai.
I'm pretty sure.
Thai
Pretty sure
and
his
I.
name's Andy.
Don't know.
Anyway, so that's fucking epic. So you basically escaped Bude and went up to Durham, did you say? And what was your job?
Yeah,
Saving
I moved
otters?
up to Bristol. I moved up to Bristol initially, so I thought I'd be able to get a job there, but it was a bit tricky trying to find a job there. This was during sort of like the recession times and that, so I couldn't sit around and wait for the work to come to me. I had to get off my backside and go and find a job which, was suitable with the qualifications that I had. So job turned up in Durham, and I was the first project officer for a small environmental charity called the Weir Rivers Trust.
Okay.
So I was responsible for writing projects in partnership with the Environment Agency, looking at doing river restoration, working alongside water companies to reduce pollution, talking to farmers and implementing measures to reduce runoff going into rivers, smashing out weirs, building fish passes, planting woodlands, wetlands, working with schools, and just raising awareness about the importance of catchment management and looking after wildlife habitats and things.
Amazing.
Yeah, because that almost sounds like you don't. It's not like you see those kind of jobs on frickin' Indeed every day, do you? Like, that's quite a niche, dream job, isn't it?
Why's Siri going on?
Yeah, 100%. I kind of knew that when I was getting into it, that these jobs are few and far between, and I'd have to move to it. But yeah, when the moment came, it was a massive life-changing thing to go through, really. I had a girlfriend in Bude. All my family and friends are in Bude. And I moved to the other side of the country. Didn't know anyone up there. And was just starting a whole new life up in Durham, really. So I spent 10 years up there in the end.
Durham?
I didn't when I applied for the job. I thought it was around Birmingham, but that was Dudley.
Don't lie, don't lie.
Is it? Yeah, no, they offered me the interview, and I had to put it in Google Maps, and yeah, it was a bit further
They didn't
than
have Google Maps back in the war, did they?
I don't know what program I put it in, but yeah, it teleported me to the other side of the country. So yeah,
So did you leave?
Massive move for me.
So wait, what did you leave your did your girlfriend come with you or?
Yeah, she did in the end. I moved up there and we did the long distance thing for about 6 months, and then she decided to make the big move and come and join me.
Too fucking right, it's amazing.
Unfortunately, she missed her family and friends a lot, and had to relocate back down south to be back with them. And I was left with a broken heart up north, sadly.
Oh, mate.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's
I know.
Impression. So okay. I mean, obviously you're back here. It seems to me like, I mean, fair play to you, because, and I'm not obviously dissing all the teenagers of Bude, but you know, you've clearly wanted to do something and gone after it and really focused on it and moved out the area and all that kind of stuff, which, you know, takes a lot of fucking brass, doesn't it? Is that a good word, brass?
I think brass is a good word.
Brass is always another word for a hooker as well. That's the only reason I wanted to check that with you.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Steve knows. Yeah. Yes, it is.
Experienced that early on in Durham.
So, I mean, again, I just can't get over that job. Like, it just sounds. It's almost like one of those jobs that you feel like doesn't exist anymore. Do you know what I mean? It's like we don't need that anymore. We've got all the rivers and everything we need. We don't need anymore.
Yeah. No, that's it. A lot of people just think that rivers are just there and they look after themselves, and people don't really appreciate the impact that humans are having on our environment. And you know, rivers are very much the litmus test of the health of the environment. You know, if you've got a really bad river with no fish or anything living in it, it's a good indicator that the rest of the environment's in a really bad state as well. So it's not just focusing on rivers, you're looking at the land use around it, you know, the industries, you're looking at all of the urban developments, you're looking at all of the industrial sort of usage, all the land use, because everything, the minute the water lands on to the ground, is washing everything down into the river. So the river's a good indicator of how healthy the overall environment is.
To really take it for granted, I do stuff like that.
Yeah, no, 100%.
You just think it just happens. It's just like you hear about the environment agencies and all that, but I'd never really. No, it never really occurred to me. I feel a bit ignorant, to be honest.
Oh, you are fucking ignorant. I could have told you that. Fuck off. I
didn't realise how involved it was going to be. Like, when I first got the job, I thought, you know, I'd be writing projects to plant a few trees along the riverbank. But towards the end, I was, you know, leading on strategic meetings with Durham University, Northumbrian Water, Durham County Council, you know, to actually advise them on their strategic investment plans, you know, in terms of sewage treatment works, new developments, new highways, drainage networks. You know, I was all heavily involved in sort of attending and providing advice to these steering groups, which then went away and prioritised all these millions and millions of pounds of spending.
So why move back after 10 years?
Why are you fucking back here now? And more importantly, what's going on with the otters?
Well, when I was up north, I was absolutely smashing my career. You know, I thought I was, you know, doing really, really well. You know, I was getting lots of promotions. I was getting the pay rises. You know, I was aiming for the promotions, you know, the job titles and all of this. But unfortunately, my life was way out of balance. You know, I was very much focused on my career, and doing the best I could with that. But my social life, you know, being away from my family and my friends, and not looking after myself very well, kind of crept up on me over the years. You know, I was up there very lonely. My socialising when I was up there was online dating, basically. You know, it's really difficult for blokes our age to go out
say our
and
age.
meet. Blokes in their 30s.
Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah.
We're saying that mid to late 20s into your 30s.
It's
difficult.
So just kind of me and you, Steve. Really. Yeah. Sorry. Go on.
Yeah. So it's difficult for men of that age range to move to a new area and make friends. You know, by that time, everyone's got their tight group of friends, and it's hard to sort of get in with those unless, you know, you're really outgoing and, you know, you put yourself out there. You like going to the pub and socialise and all of this. I've never really been one for going to the pub and socialising and stuff like that. I've just been quite independent, and so I suffered a lot up there with loneliness. You know, it was all work and no play basically up there. I would work lots and lots of extra hours. You know, I was doubling my contracted hours every single week without getting any pay.
Shit.
You know, I was thinking that, you know, I was the bee's knees for the charity, and without me, they wouldn't exist. And I was sort of like, the ego got a little bit big for its boots, and I completely burnt myself out up there, and I started to suffer with these physical symptoms, which the GP, who was called Dr. Wally, he put it all down to stress.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I couldn't believe it when my GP was called Dr. Wally, and he started shoving lots of antidepressants down my neck, just telling me, stop thinking about it, and all these symptoms will go away. You know, just pop these pills,
that works
and
well
all
for
these
everyone.
symptoms will go away. Yeah, like literally, I woke up one morning, and I couldn't feel my legs. Like, I could not feel my legs, and you know, I could, and yeah, I went to the GP and I said, look, you know, I can't feel my legs. There's something not right going on here. And sorry, Dr. Wally come in after this, but we'll backtrack back to this other GP. He thought that it was something really serious, called quadriquina, where you get a trapped nerve in your back and it can lead to paralysis.
So,
yeah, he shoved me in a MRI scanner and they didn't find anything. And they said, yeah, you know, nothing wrong. You know, it's probably stress. So just try and chill out, try not to think about it, and just get on with your life, sort of thing. But the symptoms never cleared up. And one day I woke up and I had really bad cramps in my hands. Like, my hands were literally like started all cramping up.
Holy fuck.
Like this. Yeah, like they just turned into claws. And I was, you know, so, you know, what's going on here? So I went down to the doctors, and this is when I got introduced to Dr. Wally. And again, he started to say, this is all stress related, you know, what's going on at work. So I told him about work and how many hours I was doing and this, that and the other. And he said, yeah, it's work related stress. So, you know, you take these pills, try not to think about it, you know, just rein in your overtime, and, you know, hopefully it will all clear up. And I was like, oh, okay then. So I went away, started taking my pills, and, yeah, the symptoms started to go away. But through work, I used to do a lot of electrofishing surveys.
Okay.
And one site that I was... Yeah, electrofishing.
They electrocute all the kids out of the kids?
The fuck?
The fish out of the lake? River? Fuck.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, basically what you do, you go around, you've got like a backpack on with a battery, and then you've got an anode and a cathode. So you put the cathode in the water, it like trails behind you, and then you've got your anode, which is like a net with a a metal ring on it, but without the net, and you press a button, it zaps all the fish, so they get attracted to it, and you catch them in a net, and
That's
you do
quick.
a survey and stuff.
Well, you do a survey with a fish. Well, like
Yeah, just a quick survey on the river.
How do you find this water? Is it nice? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, it's all part of like a strategic sort of fisheries survey, and one of the sites that I was surveying, there's a chap called.
He's gonna have a stupid name. I can tell.
Dicky.
Mr. Krabs.
No, John. Mr. A lad called John. And when I knocked on his door and I said, look, do you mind me doing a bit of electro-fishing? He was like, absolutely fine, really interested in what I was doing, but he was going through some health issues himself. He was suffering from an autoimmune condition, which basically, I don't know the name of it, but basically it attacked his internal organs and just randomly shut them off. Like one day his liver would just stop working. And like literally any minute, it could just shut off one of his internal organs. So it's quite a severe autoimmune condition that he had. And me and him just got talking about, my sort of symptoms that I was struggling with. And he was saying to me, like, you need to get into an MRI scanner. This sounds like an autoimmune condition. This isn't stress. I really advise that you go back to Dr. Wally and tell him to book you in to get an MRI scan. So I was like, all right then, John, yeah, I'll go back and I'll have a word with him.
Won't mucker.
And but Dr. Wally, he wasn't convinced. He just said, no, like we'll just keep an eye on it. So I just went along with it, and then several months later, the symptoms started to come back again, and I lost the vision in my eye. So all the symptoms come back again. I couldn't feel my legs. I couldn't use my hands now. I couldn't pick up a knife and fork. I couldn't text on my phone. I was living on my own at the time, so I was really, really struggling to look after myself, and I completely lost the vision in my right eye. So I thought, bloody hell, what's going on here? I better go down to the. I went down to get my eyes test at Specsavers, because I thought, I can't see nothing out of my eye. So they had a look in my eye, and there was nothing wrong with my eye. And they said, you've got something going on with your nervous system. So I was like, all right. And so, I really need to get into an MRI scanner now. And they said, like we'll get in touch with your GP and we'll fast track you into an MRI scanner. So they got me into an MRI scanner. Instead of just doing from my waist down, which they did the first time round and they didn't find anything, they did my brain and all of my spinal column. Right. And they found lots of damage, and it was multiple sclerosis.
Holy fuck.
So, yeah,
what causes
it was
that?
A bit of a shock. There's no particular cause for it, but MS only really occurs in sort of like the western northern sort of hemisphere, where there's not much sunlight. There's a lot of stress in society in terms of the way we work, diet, poor diet, lack of sunlight, stress. So it's a combination of a lot of things. I've done a bit of research, and they reckon that there's a link between multiple sclerosis and also glandular fever.
Oh, wow, okay.
There's a virus within glandular fever called Epstein-Barr virus, and they reckon that there's a link between that and that. But I was quite an ill teenager. I suffered with ME and chronic fatigue syndrome when I was a teenager. So that was very, very difficult, trying to do your GCSEs and trying to, socialise and
you still
do all the things teenagers do when you're in bed all the time.
Not fucked it. You still did well, is what I mean. You still did brilliantly, really, didn't you? Because you got the job you needed and you had a great time.
Yeah, When I was a teenager, it was really, really, really difficult because all my friends were out socialising. They're having a few beers for the first time. Everyone was pairing off with their girlfriends, and whilst they were all doing that, I was in bed. Literally, I wasn't unconscious, but I could not communicate with anyone. My confidence just went out the window. I couldn't look my family in the eye. I couldn't communicate with them. Literally, my mum would bring my dinner in for me. She'd leave it at the bottom of my bed, and then I'd wait for her to leave the room. I would then eat it and then
Jesus,
go
Steve.
back to sleep, and then she'd pick it up and take it out. Yeah,
How long did that go on for?
I wouldn't communicate with my. That went on for about 4 years. From
4 years?
when I was 14 through to 18. Yeah, it come and went. It wasn't constant.
No.
It happened sort of after I had a few beers. It was alcohol that triggered it. I would literally have 1 or 2 Fosters around my mate's house, and then I would have a month-long
That's where you were going wrong.
where
You're drinking bloody Fosters.
Yeah, no, I should have, tried something else really. But saying that, it did also work with whiskey as well. Whiskey put me on my ass for a few weeks, and also doing my GCSE exams as well. I was sat in the exam hall, just on a different planet. I was there suffering with the chronic fatigue, trying to fill in and answer these maths questions, and it was near on impossible. So I think there's always been something there. It sort of went away during my 20s and into my 30s, and then it just started to manifest again in sort of about 2018.
You're 42.
42 in April.
40, that's right. A couple of years younger than me, that's right. So then you, I know you think he was older, wouldn't you?
No, I thought you were a lot older than that. Fucking hell.
I've had a hard paper round.
I just can't get over that. Like, it just puts so much into fucking perspective, doesn't it? Like, so you've got all that shit going on, and you still done. Look at what you've achieved. Like,
yeah, I've had to work really, really hard for it.
Oh yeah, clearly, but that's incredible, isn't it? Like, you think
credit to you for keep plugging away, because you could quite easily have just been, oh fuck, can't be asked, or like, I feel poorly, I'm just gonna stay in my room and.
Yeah. So you're up in Durham. You found out you got MS. You can't really fucking use any hands or can't feel your legs. You're on your own. You've got no family, no missus, anything like that. Like, what the fuck? How was that? A stupid question, but
it was really, really, really tough. I was going through some issues with work as well, and from the point I had the MS diagnosis. Before I had the MS diagnosis, during the investigations, during the MRI scans, during the lumbar punctures, during the ECG brain assessments, my wages stopped. I was put back onto statutory sick pay, and I couldn't afford the rent. I literally could not afford the rent, and in order to pay my rent, I had to sell all of my furniture. I had to sell my mountain bike. I had to sell all of my belongings, and I was literally on the floor, on a mattress on the floor with a TV, whilst being blind and not being able to use my hands and legs, basically. So
what the fuck?
And dude, look, serious question.
It was really, really tough.
And I don't know the answer to this. Like, but did you not have any friends? Like, did you not have anyone to like talk to, or did you have people but you just couldn't?
Yeah. I had a few friends up there, but I think my expectation was that they would come and sort of support me a little bit. I don't know if I misunderstood the kind of friends that they were, but I just had that expectation in my head that, you know, they would sort of come in and check on me and, you know, buy me some shopping and stuff like that. But unfortunately, that never happened. So yeah, I was on my own, and thank God I have got awesome friends which come up to visit me. I had friends from Bude come up to see me, friends from London come to see me, my brother come and stayed with me.
Thank fuck.
And yeah, that support, yeah, big time. You know, I couldn't drive my car or anything when I had to move back down. I literally had to sell all of my stuff and then get my friend to fly up and drive my car down for me, you know, bring my cat down. The cat was sat in the back seat with me whilst he drove me back down home.
So
yeah, it was quite traumatic.
Leave your fucking beard alone.
So you had to come home because basically, by the sounds of it, you needed care.
Yeah, I needed looking after. You know, once I got the diagnosis, I thought, you know, that's it. You know, my life as I knew it was over, and this is like a new sort of way of being. And I was applying for disability allowance and getting told, no, you're not having any of it because you've got to spend all of your house deposit. You know, this was right when the pandemic kicked in. I was diagnosed January the 27th, 2020, and then the next month the pandemic started. So I moved all the way back down to Bude to be looked after by my parents.
Shitting
and then
hell.
Matt Hancock was sending me letters saying you can't come into contact with anyone because they could kill you because you're clinically extremely vulnerable to COVID. So you've got to isolate from everyone until we've figured out what's going on.
Fuck me. So you went from being...
Unless you wanted a party, obviously, you'd have been fine.
Oh...
Yeah.
Fair point. So you went from being in Durham, sort of in a state on your mattress and not having mates, but not having the mates you thought you had, and then you come back down here to get looked after and sort of rebuild your life, I suppose. Obviously, tell me if you're wrong on that. But and then you bloody then you had lockdown. That's fucking horrendous.
So, Steve, did you
but
was there a moment when... Sorry, just really quickly.
No,
was there a moment where you... was it a big step for you to go, fuck, I need help? Like, I can't do this on my own. Was there a pivotal moment, or was it just, oh, fuck it, I need to go home? Like, this is stupid.
Yeah, the minute that my pay stopped, I was like, holy shit, like, you know, what am I going to do here? Like, I literally can't afford to pay the rent and stuff, so I just had to do everything I could to get down here and get looked after, because no job, not very many belongings. Come down here, and so I moved down just before Christmas. It was sort of like the first week of December, I think. I moved down, so I managed to have Christmas with everyone, and then that's when I met my girlfriend. My amazing girlfriend. And, you know, I look back on all of that and I don't regret any of it. You know, I spent 10 years up in Durham, you know, smashing all of the... Are you still there? Because you've disappeared.
What a nightmare.
So I was there up in Durham trying to find myself the perfect partner.
No idea.
And you still there? Hello. You still there?
Why is it doing this?
I don't know. Stevie, baby, you coming back?
Huddo.
Is he coming back?
Call in Huddo.
Yeah.
What a fucking palaver this shit is.
Call in Huddo.
So, if anyone's listening or watching or whatever's going on, sorry.
Yeah, I'm still here, boys. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we can hear you fine, dude. We can't see you, though. But we can hear you.
Right on.
And we are still recording. So should we just carry on?
Yeah.
Might as well, aren't we?
Yeah, let's carry on.
If you
Yeah,
manage to,
I
sorry,
was
go on.
up north. So, I was up north. I had the sort of narrative in my head. Once I get a girlfriend, I'll be happy, and all of this sort of stuff. And I was just trawling the internet for my perfect girlfriend and never finding them. Beating myself up, getting really bad depression and anxiety because, I just felt ugly and worthless and everything. Just desperate to meet someone. And then, I get absolutely clobbered with an MS diagnosis, which brings me back down south. And me and my girlfriend met up. We went for a walk on Dartmoor when I was eventually able to, and we've never looked back since. We had dinner together. And then when the pandemic kicked off, they said, you're going to have to lock down. So we locked down together, and we've been together ever since. And she's been a massive help in supporting me, on my sort of a healing journey. So I wouldn't change anything about it.
Well, that was make or break. If you didn't last through COVID, then it was never going to last.
Yeah, absolutely. Like literally COVID. No, COVID didn't even finish. We bought a place in Whitstone in the middle of COVID lockdowns, and we're still together, and gonna be together for a long time.
That's incredible, isn't it?
That is beautiful, though, isn't it?
After all those years of searching, and then ironically you get really ill, and you come back home and you find the person that
you probably
been looking for.
Probably look shit. Do you know what I mean? As well, like.
Thanks, mate.
The last thing I was thinking about.
Yeah.
Looking like a bag of shit.
But I mean, again, it's incredible. It's almost like you've got this kind of thing of against all odds, isn't it? Because you probably, like you say, you weren't thinking about it. You probably making some assumptions, but it's probably the shittest you felt in donkey's years, if probably ever. And now you got this beautiful maid. That's now. I'm trying to channel my inner Cornwall.
I was thinking, that's
that you've now that you're still with.
Love handsome maid.
Handsome maid,
bloody handsome maid. Right then, so tell us.
Oh yeah.
So why the fuck did you get into?
Yeah, where does B?
Come on, remember the name if you're gonna fucking.
BWW. That's what I was calling it.
Bude Wellness Warriors.
Yeah, where did all that? Why?
And hey, I hope you realise I've been wearing the hoodie on. Not that you'd know because you probably haven't been watching. But we'll talk about that later. But, I've been wearing it on a few of the episodes.
Yeah, he's been representing, so thank you very much for that.
Absolutely.
It's nice and fitting.
Unlike this t-shirt.
Yeah, the ideal... the idea for the Wellness Warriors come about... when was it? It was not last March, it was the March before. So February 2023, the idea come to me. I was just down the woods, got some lovely woods down here, Swanwick Woods, other side of Whitstone. Me and the dog just mooching about, and I was just sat there, and I thought, all right, I'm just have a little bit of a meditate here. I'm just going to sit here. I'm just going to close my eyes. I'm just going to focus on my breath. I'm going to listen to the trees and the wind and the birds, and I just had a bit of a meditate, and then I got up and I just walked off, and I thought, I've learnt so much over these last 2 years. Since my MS diagnosis, I've learnt so much about the importance of looking after yourself and wellness, and I've learnt about so many tools to improve your physical and mental health. From that diagnosis, I looked into diet. I'm on an anti-inflammatory diet. I don't eat any gluten, dairy or legumes. I meditate every single day. I do yoga every single day. I work out, I run, and I'm just like really disciplined, and it's changed my physical and mental health massively. I'm fitter than I've ever been in my life now. And at that moment when I got up and I just walked off, I just thought, I wonder if anyone would be interested in joining me on this journey, to learn about all of these tools and techniques that I've learned, because I've gone from thinking my life is over, it's never going to be the same again. I'm going to be on disability allowance. I'm never going to work, this, that, and the other. Kind of, because my neurologist turned around and said to me, if you don't take these drugs, you're going to have a really poor quality of life. You're going to end up in a wheelchair, so you're going to have to take these drugs for the rest of your life, and that's it. And from that point onwards, I read the David Goggins book.
Was that
You Can't Hurt Me.
Yeah, You Can't Hurt Me. I finished that one recently. That's an absolute ripper of a book. It's just that goes to show how far the mind will go. You can push the body through the mind.
It is, and it's just, that book was just a massive kick up the backside for me, really. It's rather than sitting there and feeling sorry for myself, get out there and do absolutely everything in your power to make yourself the best version that you can possibly be.
So you don't take any medication now at all?
I come off my meds 6 months ago. I was on the highest strength disease-modifying treatment that they've got when I was originally diagnosed, because they said it was highly active and they needed to put me in the highest strength drug. So I was on that for 3 years. Just through the discipline of, waking up, doing the yoga, doing the meditation, eating the right things, exercise, just getting my life in a complete balance. I had everything in a balance, and just being aware of it, I've managed to come off all of my drugs, and I don't take any drugs now. I take supplements, and I do everything I can to keep myself fit and healthy. And I want to share that knowledge and that story with whoever wants to listen to it, and whoever wants to do something similar, really, is take control of their own destiny and learn about these tools and techniques that I've used in my life.
So do you get any, since you come off the medication, you do your yoga, your meditation, and I like the word discipline. So you've got to be incredibly disciplined.
I'm going to ask Steve about that in a minute, but yeah, go on.
Cool. Well, I'll carry on now.
Yeah, you carry on now.
Thanks, and you'll probably ask it better in a minute.
Yeah,
you won't hear me, and you'll ask exactly the same question in a better way.
Yeah,
I lost my train of thought. So the last 6 months, do you suffer at all with any problems of the illness at all?
No, I'm completely symptom free, and I'm running half marathons. Yeah, I'm running. I've done 2 half marathons over the past 3 months. Yeah, I've got another half marathon in a couple of weeks, and I'll be doing marathons and that soon. So
this fucker needs to be on the front of newspapers.
He does.
Newspapers in the 1980s, like Cornwall Live have all this.
Fucking better than Cornwall Live.
But you know what I mean. Like that's got quite a decent coverage. Rather than this shit they put on there. Like Steve's face, like.
But
look at me. That's just fucking incredible.
It doesn't fit the agenda.
Well, no, of course it doesn't. No, of course it doesn't. It's not ticking all the boxes at all, is it?
Steve,
that's incredible, mate. Seriously. Drew asked the same question again. Go on.
No. I was going to say that I really struggle with discipline, I guess. When you're talking about reading a book and stuff, like. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like prioritisation, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. I know what I need to do, but I just don't. I don't seem to fit it in, or I don't seem to make time for it. Like the thought of going to bed and reading. Now, my wife, she reads a book every night. Not a book, but she reads every night in bed. I just want to go to bed, go to sleep because I'm knackered.
Can I say what I think part of it is?
I was asking the expert.
No, I'm going to say.
Oh, go on then. Sorry,
I'm just going to pitch in. Do you know what? I can't have too much dairy. If I have large amounts of dairy, I'll shit myself.
Yeah,
I'll have given me cramps, so I don't do it.
Right.
It's easy. I don't do it. So I'm just wondering if Steve, he knows if he doesn't potentially do his yoga, or he doesn't potentially meditate, or if he has a beer, then he's just going to feel like absolute shit potentially.
Yeah, the problem is I don't feel like shit.
That's what I mean. So the consequence of you like not going running or not this actually doesn't really affect you.
No.
But because like, and I'm not putting myself in the same bracket as Steve, I'm just trying to relate to it. If I drank a pint of milk, he might do, isn't admitted to shitting himself.
No,
he might do when he was younger, when he was drinking. So if I have a pint of milk, I'll be in terrible cramps. I can't do that. I love milkshake or ice cream, but I can't have it.
Okay. So that's a really good story. Thank you for that. But can I just go back to
that was just saying what I think. It's weird not having Steve on the screen. Just a voice
Steve,
in my ear.
I mean, did you experience that when you first started out, or were you just like balls deep straight away?
I was pretty much balls deep straight away because the thought of being paralysed from the neck down absolutely terrified me. And it's. I think in terms of discipline, you need to have a reason why you're doing what you need to do. If I'm doing it to prevent myself from getting into being in a wheelchair. I don't have any kids or anything, but I'm doing this to keep myself fit and healthy, so I can be there for my partner, I can be there for my friends, my family, and I can enjoy a good quality of life. And I think, to make doing stuff that you don't want to do easier, you need to have a good reason for it in the forefront of your mind. So, if you've got a partner, if you've got kids, or if you've got a health condition, have that in the forefront of your mind. So when you say, I can't be asked, it's like, right, why am I doing this? I'm doing this for this, that, and the other, and then that will make you do it.
So yeah, I think I think I'm not quite there yet. Then I think I don't know if I told you last time we spoke, but I came off my meds about 3 months ago.
Yeah,
three months ago. Yeah. After being on them for like 20 years.
Right.
And coming out the other end, like of not getting any side effects, and the side effects were pretty horrendous of coming off them. But I don't really have any self-respect. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm quite self-sacrificing, and I don't. We were talking about this actually on the last
one that's coming up
the other day. Like where it's there's no. I'm always seeking external validation. There's no self-validation. So the thought of you saying, and I know it sounds fucking horrible, my wife and kids know this because I'm quite honest with them about it. Like, when you're talking about doing it for yourself and your wife, your girlfriend and things like that, like, it doesn't interest me. I got no, I don't care if I die. I don't care do you know what I mean? So, I'm not trying to fucking bring the room down. I just know that there'll be a lot of people that are probably, the thought. I think that's why I can't quite get my head around it. Like the thought of why would I want to do it? There is no reason for me to do it whatsoever.
Well, it's Steve's reasons clear. You don't have
100%.
Yeah, you don't have a reason.
Debilitating illness.
Yeah.
Apart from you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cheeky prick. But from knowing you so well, there's lots of reasons why.
What?
For you not to. Fuck me, Steve. Family, friends, good health.
No, I know, but we had this the other day.
Yeah. No, I know. So we can go round and round and round.
Yeah.
No, I know, but they're good enough reasons. But I know you think they're not good enough reasons.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah.
Yeah. I think that from that diagnosis as well, I've just realised how precious life is and how amazing this gift of life is. We're not here for very long, and there's a lot of people around the world which aren't as lucky as us.
Yeah.
You've only got to put the news on to see people's houses getting blown to smithereens, and we're sat here living very comfortable lives.
Yeah.
And we're not here for very long. So whilst we are here, let's look after our bodies the best we can. Let's look after our minds and bodies the best we can. And let's get out of our heads, because we get stuck in our heads so much. And that's something else that I've realised as well since starting the meditation and all that sort of thing. That's enabled me to create a bit of calmness in the mind, not putting myself down all the time and telling myself that, you're worthless, you're ugly, you're never going to be happy until you have this, you don't deserve this. That's been my internal dialogue for most of my life until the MS diagnosis. And then when that happened, I got deep into meditation and the cold water stuff, and that really does just quieten the mind down, and you can kind of trust your intuition and just go with the flow and enjoy life better rather than putting yourself down all the time.
I actually find that mildly funny, actually, and that's no disrespect, Steve, the way you said you would, because I used to berate myself all the time, and you got to the point of the MS diagnosis, and you could have quite easily just fucking spiraled and just dropped off the edge of a cliff, no problem. But that actually gave you a kick it gave you a positive kick.
Yeah, absolutely. It just put everything into perspective as to what's important in life. Job titles aren't important. Money's not important. You need money, but climbing the ladder of your career, that's not important. If it's stressing you out and making you doubt yourself and put yourself down, then it's just not worth it. What's important is, your health and, maintaining those relationships with the important people around you. That's the most important thing. And, that's why I started the group, just to put that message across. This body that you've got is the only one you get, and you've got to look after it. And, you're only here for a short while, and let's have the most fun we can, rather than staying in this and putting yourself down. Let's link up, let's talk about stuff, let's get things off our chest, and let's share experiences, let's share tools to make ourselves better. What diet are you on? What diet are you on? What are you doing? Let's share all of our experiences and tips and tricks and that, and that's exactly why I set the group up.
So tell us about the group then, Steve. So as far as what do you do? When do you meet? How do people get involved?
So the group was set up originally to do some monthly walks. One of the biggest healing activities for me was going up onto Dartmoor for a long walk with my tent and that on my backpack, and I would spend days and days out on Dartmoor connecting with nature, breathing in that nice fresh air, getting away from screens, and I wanted to share that with people. So that was the first thing that we did. We just set up monthly walks. The second Sunday of every month, we'll go for a nice walk along the coast path, on the moors, and just make the most of this stunning scenery that we've got around us. When I was living in Bude, I took it all for granted. I was in the pub all the time. I didn't really know anything about Dartmoor, Bodmin Moor, the coast path. But now that is just, it's something that we need to utilise to better our physical and mental health. So every single month we do a wellness walk, second Sunday of every month. So we've done one every single month since then. We've also set up a weekly cold water club as well. So we meet at 9 o'clock down at Bude Sea Pool. There's usually, between 5 and 15 of us that turn up every single Saturday morning. Wow. The Sea Pool have been fantastic supporters of us, and they've allowed us access to the hub. So we meet in there, we get changed, we go and have a quick 5-minute dip in the pool every single Saturday throughout the whole year. We're going to be doing this over winter, spring, summer and autumn. So if anyone wants to come along,
we've got to start doing
meet us down there 9 o'clock.
We did start doing it because I actually had a fear of. A fear might be a bit strong, but it really annoyed me that I couldn't get into cold water. I was just like, it's literally just a sensation. Nothing's going to happen.
That's the feeling.
And Dave was like, yeah, you fucking pansy. He didn't say that, but and just we kind of just went down to the, was it Crooklets, wasn't it? And we just fucking shouted like stupid
Screamed,
things in the air, and just went straight in.
No, we did that in January. Started that last.
Started in January. Yeah,
January
we haven't been friends. We need to go down and see Steve as well. What's your excuse for not coming this one? Oh, you're not here, are you?
This one? No, I'm away for 2 weeks.
That doesn't mean I couldn't go.
Having fun.
Doesn't mean I couldn't go.
I'll come pick you up on Saturday morning.
Yeah, you fucking give him plenty of notice, but you won't be out of bed or be on the sofa like.
Dave, send me his address and I'll pick him up Saturday morning.
Oh, I mean, I only live around the fucking corner, don't
He
I?
literally lives like
fucking Vicky Road.
Yeah, took 3 minutes walk away.
Just absolutely mental.
No, it's nice. You know, it's from Crooklets.
And it's on. Did you say it's on a Sunday or a Saturday?
Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
Yeah, every Saturday morning we're down there. If we can't get in the pool, we'll get in the sea. Either way, we're getting in the cold.
Yeah.
Most Saturdays are quite difficult for me. Oh, there's a funny old one.
Well, and it clashes with Park Run as well, which is really annoying. But I don't go to that either, so it's not really...
I'm glad you fucking said that, Pricey.
You're going to call me out.
Yeah, what you fucking...
I saw your eyes.
That's really cool, Steve. Seriously,
that is.
I think what you're doing, I've said it to you when I picked up my jumper, didn't I? I think when I didn't know you.
Jumper now as well. You need to let me know, Steve. You didn't let me know if it's probably not relevant for an on-air podcast, but you didn't let me know whether or not I paid or not.
Probably didn't.
Yeah, no, he didn't pay.
He said, I fucking paid for a jumper. I've been waiting for it for months.
I swear I had, but then
of course you did. I forgot.
When I fucking picked it up,
it's gone up now. Was it £55
on it? Yeah. Let us know, Steve, and I'll sort it out.
Yeah, I'll double check for you, mate. No worries.
Stick some interest on it, cheeky little prick.
So,
but yeah, you know, with a group we do the monthly walks, we do the weekly cold water dips. We also set up, sort of ad hoc events as well. We've teamed up with another group called the Soul Warriors, and they do they facilitate sort of like conversations, talking about the warrior archetype and what it means to be a warrior, and to tap into, the warrior energy that's within us. That's where the discipline is. That's where showing up and getting it done is. We also have done breathwork sessions as well, which are absolutely fantastic for sort of quietening the mind, and relieving anxiety, releasing any sort of built up emotions which we're unaware of. We've also teamed up with Wild Spirit Wellness as well. We've got a lot of lads now doing yoga, and they absolutely swear by it. There's about 5 or 6 lads which we've never would have dreamt of doing yoga, but they're there every Monday evening now, and they're reaping the benefits
yoga
from
on a
it,
Friday evening?
never look back.
Monday evening?
On a Monday evening. Yeah, Monday evenings, that is.
Fucking hell. So there's literally, what I'm hearing is there's no fucking excuse. If you don't know how to, it doesn't matter, like, you don't need to know how to do anything. You don't need to, they're not all friends and stuff like that. There's like people that come along that don't know people, or maybe a little bit like don't really socialise or whatever, and you just come down. There's no fucking judging. It's just a load of blokes together just enjoying being blokes.
Yeah, every single week we have new guys turning up, and they just fit in like, we've been mates for years. We're all a really sort of we're a great bunch, and we just want to have a laugh and just share our stories and our experiences, and just talk about our day-to-day sort of things that are going on, and any coping mechanisms that we have. We're not a mental health support group. We're just a bunch of blokes that get together and try stuff out, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And
that in turn is a mental health support group, isn't it? Because it helps. I know you're not.
It's not official.
No, that's what I'm saying. But it is. It does. People can go along, and it helps. All that stuff does help. Yeah.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
So have you got any like bigger? Have you got any like longer term plans for it, Steve? Any big plans?
Yeah, we're looking to set up a retreat next year. I know you had Alex on last week at Atlantic Horizon, so we're just in the early stages of planning a Wellness Warrior retreat where we're going to be doing, some hiking. We'll be doing some yoga and some meditation. This is all for blokes that have never done it before. It's just a bit of a weekend to dip your toe in and see if it's for you really. And we're all just normal blokes like myself. Just trying these things out, and just having a nice chilled out weekend. Over.
I'm busy, unfortunately.
You don't even fucking know when it is.
I know, Alex has already spoken about dates.
Oh, for
about doing the food.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah, right.
Couldn't get the best there. It's not going to be as good, I'm sorry.
11th of July, I think.
Where are you on the 11th of July?
That's a shame, but...
I'm just going to see Stereophonics.
What a prick. Did you hear that?
On the Saturday, I'm going to see
Stereophonics. Stereophonics, that's...
Hey, come on.
This
will
be
be
a
good.
lot better than the Stereophonics. I might even get my DJ stuff out and play some tunes.
Yeah, well, it might change. We'll see if we can change his mind.
I only booked the tickets probably about a week before.
Yeah, we'll see if we can change his mind, Steve. I know he wants to help, men and their mental health more than the Stereophonics, I'm sure, anyway. So
if someone wants to pay for my ticket,
no,
I'm not fucking saying that. Fees going as well.
So, Steve, I'm conscious of the time, and not
also
wanting
because
to drag
the
you on.
reception's been absolutely shite.
It's got to be the worst fucking
shocking. I don't
technical
know what's
episode
going on.
ever.
I know. Go on, hit it. Hit him.
What is your definition of love?
What are you pointing at?
My definition of love?
Yeah.
My definition of love has got to be... It's the connection. It's a connection with yourself. It's a connection with the people. It's a connection with the environment. My definition of love is connecting with everything, and loving yourself is the most important form of love, I would say, because if you're not loving yourself,
who the fuck are you loving?
How can you truly love anyone else?
That's a very, 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 very good point.
I think that's one of the best definitions.
The very last part is, I think.
Yeah.
I'd never really, because I'd always looked at it as like towards someone else. Not thinking about love as yourself. Good answer, Steve. I wish you could see your bloody face.
I've been imagining it.
That's really unpleasant.
Not in a weird way. I know I put a pillow on my lap. I think he might be there when we stop recording. And
he could be back.
And when we get his recording come through, I got a really good... Hopefully he's not been doing any funny faces or like calling like wanker and stuff like that.
But when you ask that question, people's first response is always, my definition of
it knocks you a little bit, doesn't it?
Good answer, mate. But thank you very much. You've been very patient.
Steve, you're incredible as well, by the way, dude. Like, you're sitting there. It's interesting to hear you say, I'm just a normal guy. When actually the story that you've told today is far from it. You've gone from all those things in your early, your kind of childhood through to what you've been through. I'd say you're far from a normal guy, but you've done absolutely phenomenal and inspirational, really, and it's humbling to see you now wanting to share that with other people. So I do feel like a bit of a dick for not just being able to come to a fucking 5-minute dunk on a Saturday morning. Well, you got
more balls than me. I wasn't going to say that out loud, even though I feel a dick.
So
I think it's probably been the most of all the people we've had on. Steve's probably been the most.
Apart from Alan Sugar, he was quite a nice guy.
So we've got to.
Yeah,
we can't release that yet.
Oh, sorry.
It's probably the most sort of... We had people in pretty bad situations, but Steve's had it rough on and off for quite a long period.
Rough as fuck,
yeah. So fair play, mate.
And I think, those times
amazing.
You can react in two different ways, can't you? You can either roll over and let it happen to you, or you can take control and, fight for a better life than that, And I think through difficult difficult experiences, that's where the growth is, and that's why we do the cold water and stuff. They're difficult situations that you put yourself in on purpose because, there's growth that's going to come out the other end of it. And yeah, I've had a lot of opportunities to grow, shall we say.
Pete, everyone can take something from you, Steve.
You're all right.
Yeah, and I was just thinking, like, people. No, I was just, but I've got nothing to fucking look at, so I was staring at it. So I was just thinking,
look
fuck
at the
me.
black screen.
I was thinking everyone could just take a bit from what Steve's talking about.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, without a doubt, it's fucking incredible. Like, it does make you question and think.
Yeah,
but it's nice because he's not being a dick about it.
Yeah, he's not being an egotistical
it's not
prick.
like I was watching the
You would be
Pride
an
of Britain the other night.
prick.
It's
Pricey.
what?
No. Anyway, Steve. Fucking hell. You're such a dick.
Lovely to see you,
Well,
and hopefully we'll see you
yeah.
on. I mean, Dave won't, but hopefully I'll see you on Saturday.
in about a month.
Yeah, I'll see you Saturday morning, Steve, all right?
Yeah.
9 o'clock, nice
Fucking
and sharp, down
way.
to the people.
Well, I might go live.
I'll get photograph
Bollocks.
evidence.
Yeah, please send me evidence.
I might go live on the two fellas.
You haven't seen him in his little Speedos.
Little budgie smugglers.
It's a fucking sight to behold.
It's like a thong. That's
He
what I go
basically
for.
he buys
Yeah,
child
we can have
budgie
matching
smugglers,
Speedos.
so they're tight and they just hold it in like it's literally like a couple of nuts with a chipolata.
Fucking hell, what is wrong with you?
Cocktail
Oh,
sausage.
beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you, mate.
Well, if anyone wants to get involved with a group, we've got a group on Facebook, so check us out on there. It's a private group for men to join. We've also got an Instagram page and a WhatsApp group as well. So if you're not on social media but you want to get involved,
Yeah, when your episode comes out, mate, we'll be putting all those links up. Yeah.
And what if people are not on socials? Is there another way of getting hold of you?
just the WhatsApp group.
That's
our
say
normal
that.
sort of
Yes,
Facebooky sort of thing.
idiot.
So yeah,
The WhatsApp group. Yeah, we'll include all of that.
Well, Stephen.
So we'll spread the word.
Nice one.
Cheers, Steve Hudson.
Thanks,
perfect.
Huddo.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Pleasure's
Cheers,
ours.
boys.
Cheers,
See you,
Dave.
mate.
See you later.